Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Here on Alma, Missouri, we have made it to September. We're just getting our silage blower lined up so that we can get started making some silage here. You can see we're down to $12,000. We did have to spend some money getting all the equipment we need. Still have a load of straw bales over there that haven't been picked up. But getting to the important stuff first. Looks like the alfalfa is trying to come back in. Hopefully we can get a second cutting of that. Also got some hay bales over there in the field too that still need to be picked up. But we had a lot going on in July and August. We got a lot going on in September. We are going to focus on getting some silage cuts. Let me jump in here. I took the loader off of the 7050 here to make this a little bit easier. Let's get some silage cut. Let's see what kind of yield we can get off of this corn here. We ended up getting about 230 bushel per acre off the wheat. I don't know that I mentioned that. You may have seen it in the video as I was harvesting. So we got pretty good crop of wheat. We did take one load to town, so the flour mill's running, the bread's coming along. We'll look at the financial menu here in a little bit. 74, still climbing, but it's starting to level out a little bit. I don't know if my yield monitor will bring anything up here. No, it's still showing the yield from the previous harvest, so not really going to get anything out of that. It is showing a little bit from the new portion of the field we created, but it's not really any updates there. So no point in having that open. We're still climbing. We're up to 76 yards per acre. There we go. Try to get this thing to shift to speed up a little bit for us. Alright, so here we go. I think I'm gonna get you guys one full load here, and then we'll go and get one full load here and get it unloaded, and then probably go into a little bit of a time lapse. I'm trying to decide how much of this I need to cut. I don't own the cows yet, so I don't know how much they're gonna need per year. So I'm probably gonna do at least 5 or 6 trailer loads, but I want to leave a little bit behind because I'm gonna have to cut some for high moisture corn to make our mineral. That part's not as important. The two main ingredients for the cow food mix are hay and silage, so as long as I have both of those, I'll be good. I don't necessarily need the mineral feed, but I'd like to put some in there, some high moisture corn to add to our mix as mineral. We're still climbing. We're up to almost 90 yards per acre. 25% full. Not even made it half a lap around this field, so looks like in the future we'll maybe get a bigger forage harvester that can go a little bit faster, but we're trying to stick with the 80s and 90s still, because that's about where we're at with our tractors and other equipment, so I couldn't jump ahead too far. As we get closer, you can see there to the left, the soybeans are looking great. Great crop of soybeans coming in there for us, so that'll be good. You can see up ahead, I finished baling the straw, but I haven't picked everything up. And as I come around the corner here, you'll see the pickup is still out there. You may have caught a glimpse of it there when I was hooking up the silage blower, but I ended up upgrading balers again. That gel baler was was nice, but it wasn't picking everything up. The pickup on it was not quite wide enough, so I ended up upgrading to a John Deere I think it's a 435 baler. And the bales it makes are actually a little bit bigger than the bales that the gel baler made. The problem was the trailer that I had was too small, so I had to get a bigger trailer for the bigger bales. So that's where some of our money went as well too. You may be able to see it here when I turn around the corner here. Yeah, there's the pickup sitting over there with the load of bales that still need to go into town. Let's see if I can if I turn this thing off, it'll turn around faster. There we go. It's just slow, and I don't know if it's the tractor or if it's just this forage harvester, but we are just not moving along very well. But the only other tractor I have is the 8070, and it's got row crop duals on it, so that won't work because it'll run over the corn. So we'll make do with what we got here. We're about 50% full, so we're gonna make it around the field once, and then we'll go dump, and then we might time lapse this a little bit for you. I'm trying to decide. There's not much to do for harvest this year, so I'm trying to figure out how much I want to pack into this episode. I got a pretty good reception to the last video, which was a little bit longer, but I packed some more content into it than I have been. And I've also been noticing that my Alma, Missouri videos have been getting more attention than my Western Wilds videos, so I'm contemplating actually jumping up and start posting the Alma, Missouri videos twice a week, and then making the Western Wilds a once a month thing with some longer videos, but we'll see how that goes. It all depends on what you guys keep watching. Along here at 5 miles per hour. I guess that's how we did it back in the day. I don't really remember. I remember us having cows on the childhood farm growing up, my grandpa's farm, and I remember the silage pile. But I was a lot younger when we chopped our own silage. As I got a little bit older, we contracted that out and actually had one of the neighbors come and help us out with that. So this might have been how slow we went with our old pull-behind forage harvester. I honestly don't remember. This is the cheapest one. Cheapest one that I could find in the store, but it also is the closest to the era of equipment that I'm running right now. So we'll make do with what we got. Probably gonna end up making 5 or 6 laps around this field. But what I'm going to do when I get up here at the end, I'm going to go ahead and dump this trailer so you guys can get a little glimpse of that. Then we'll probably jump ahead to October and November with the corn and soybean harvest to finish out this video. And then we'll be ready for our annual money run in January, because that's when a bulk of our items hit their top price. Our bread hits its top price, lettuce hits its top price, all of our alfalfa, hay, and straw will hit its top price, so that'll be the month. January is our annual money run through the snow. Give you a little bit of forecasting of what you're going to see in the future, but we got to get this bank account back going, because $12,000 is not going to buy us any dairy cows, and it's definitely not going to buy us that dairy in town, because I'm assuming that's going to be $70,000 to match how much we paid for the bakery and the grain mill as well. So yet to be seen on that one, but we're not there yet. We're 85% full, and it looks like we're starting to level off. We might make it to 85 yards per acre. That's, we'll take that. It's a decent yield for first time cutting silage. So what I'm gonna do right here is let that finish going through. Let me see if I can figure out which one of these is the trailer. Yep. Now this is the fun part, because I don't have all the tractors that I need. Maybe that can be one of our purchases too. So we drop the trailer, drop the forage harvester, come back around the corner, find the hitch, go up to the trailer. Now that we have our forage wagon loaded up, let's go see. I didn't test this out before I started recording, so hopefully I got the right silage blower for this set of silos. There's a couple of different ones floating around out there, so we're going to find this out together. Pull right up here to the silage blower, and let's see if we get an unload trigger. We did. That's what we like to see. And the D21 kicked in. Sounds like everything's blowing. Jump out now. Go over here. Find my... And right here, harvester silage. We are going to make some corn silage. So there we go. We're making silage now. One step down. We got... Actually, it's 2 steps down. We got hay, and now we have silage. So we're about ready to have cows. But I'm going to go ahead and finish this harvest off camera just because it's going to take a while. Probably do at least 5 or 6 loads. But when you see me again, we'll probably be in October harvesting corn, which I just realized I'm going to have to come up with money to buy a corn header too. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. If we have to go to the bank and take a loan out, we'll go to the bank and take a loan out. But keep watching, and we'll be back here in just a few seconds, and we'll be up in October. So we've made it to October, and we're trying to get the corn out, but this has me so hilariously worked out that I just had to do this so everybody else can see it. So I am on my 3rd different gravity wagon. This one is supposed to have an extension on it. I bought it without the extension just because the first 2 didn't work. You can see all the tracks on the ground, and I'm going to show you this. I wanted to show you guys this just so you can see what I'm dealing with. And maybe, just maybe, the people that make some of these mods will somehow come across my video and realize that some stuff needs to be fixed. Unfortunately, I'm not smart enough with Giant's Editor. I've barely used it. The most I've done with it is load a map to delete some buildings. But I'll show you what I'm dealing with right now. So, the issue is either, I don't know if it's the tractor, I don't know if it's the wagon, I don't know if it's the blower, but the collision points on these mods are set up in a way that I cannot get close enough to unload this trailer. So you'll see here, I have a gap between my front tires and my silage blower, but when I get close to it right here, oh, watch now, it's not going to do it because I'm recording it. Right there, see? There's a gap there, but it thinks that I'm running into the silage blower. And so I don't know if that's because that's where the unload trigger is, on the silage blower. I don't know if that's because there's a collision point on this front tire of this tractor, but I took the duals off to be able to do this because I sold the D21 to buy a gravity wagon. So now that I have that lined up again, I'm going to get back in the 8070. Now, if I pull wide enough as to not activate that collision, well, now my trailer's too close, and now my trailer, oh, see, now my trailer's creating a collision. So now, oh, did I actually get it for once? I might have actually finally got it. Maybe I should have just started recording to begin with. There we go. I think we finally got it. But you can see the tracks on the ground from how many times I did that in order to get that to work. So now that that's unloading, we're just going to leave it there. Go jump in the combine and get some corn out. And I'll worry about the aesthetics of getting an actual extension on that grain gravity wagon here in a little bit. That corn that was in there actually came out of the silo that we still had from our very first harvest. So I'm glad that I had that in there to get that all set up before we got going. But now we're going to jump in here, get the corn out. It's going to be a busy October, because if you look ahead up there, you'll see that the soybeans are ready too. So I had ended up taking the duals off of the 8070 so that I could get the silage done faster. So what I ended up doing, I'm trying to adjust my camera here to, I got some lag going on. But what I ended up doing is taking the duals off of the 8070 and putting that on forage harvester so that I could use the 7050 to run the wagons back and forth, so that I didn't have to continuously unhook the forage harvester every time I wanted it up. So that helped speed up the process a little bit. We got it done. I think we ended up with just short of 200,000 liters of chaff that is now turning into silage. That's not going to quite be enough to get us through a full year, but as I hit the wrong button again. But what I've done is I've purchased an additional header for the forage wagon that will pick up grass. So now whenever I cut the grass, I'll be able to take the forage harvester around the edge twice to give me room to turn around with the rake and the baler. But I can take that grass and dump that in the silo and make silage as well. So 3 times a year I'll be getting a couple of trailer loads of grass off the grass field to help make silage that way as well. I am going to experiment. The alfalfa is about ready to be cut again. So I'm going to experiment and see. I think I showed you guys that the hayloft silo did not recognize the alfalfa hay. I'm going to see if the regular harvest store there will recognize the grass, the alfalfa grass, to make silage out of it. And if not, then we'll just keep doing grass. I would like the alfalfa to work because just aesthetically, I like the way it looks in the field a lot better than the corn, you know, but we'll make do with what we have. We'll make it work. So we'll see. I might do that toward the end of this video, just to see. But I'm going to go ahead and finish this harvest off screen just because there's something with this combine and the graphics that doesn't seem to be cooperating very well. So I'm going to finish the harvest off screen, and maybe we'll come back and attempt to put some alfalfa grass in our silos. And that's how we'll finish this episode. Just a lot of lag. I don't know if it's my dust. Let me try turning down my dust and see if that does anything. Sure enough, it was. It was the dust all along. Alright, well, I'm going to still finish the harvest without you because it's going to take me a while, and we'll be back later when it's time to pick up some grass. Alright, so just a quick update here. I thought about recording it, but I didn't. But I overnight watched a few YouTube videos and figured out how to change some things. So now I have 30-inch spacing on my corn. So I fixed that. It was set at 15 inches. Why, I don't know, but I now have 30-inch rows on my corn. So now I can harvest from the inside if I want to, but it also just makes it easier to follow the row. So that is good. My soybeans are still set on 15-inch rows. I don't have a problem with that. I have a split row planter, so it's realistic, but I don't know anybody. There may be somebody out there somewhere, but I don't know anybody that grows corn on 15-inch rows. So obviously it made it look like it's possible, and I might kill my yield a little bit because now I have fewer plants. But I'm gonna do one lap around the field here quick to show you. So while I was in there doing that, it looks like I skipped a row. That's my favorite pastime, is not going straight. While I was in there figuring out XMLs, because that's the file type you need to update, I watched a couple videos on fruit types and fill types, and if you remember all my struggles with getting the gravity wagon to line up with my silage blower, well, I made some changes to that as well. So we're gonna go around the field one time, and I'll show you what I did there. But then we're still gonna finish this in this video with what I said I was gonna end with, because hopefully I made a few other things work too while I was at it. So I'm going to go one time around the field here just to show you what I did to be able to get my corn, my high moisture corn into the silo a little bit easier. I'm just going around in some counterclockwise circles here because that's how I harvested. That's not counterclockwise, that's clockwise. Anyway, is it? Yeah. Because that's how it was already lined up from doing the silage. So I could go up down now that I actually have rows to follow. But I wanted to go around the outside just so I could get as much corn in this hopper as possible. I guess we'll leave some out for the deer. We'll take care of the wildlife this year. But now it's a lot easier to see where I'm at, where I need to be. All the other textures are still the same. It's still smashing down the corn stalks when I drive over them and everything else, so all the other characteristics are still there. Now I could make a tutorial video on how I did this, but there's already hundreds of these videos out there. I actually just scoured YouTube for an hour or so and found what I needed to find to be able to do this. So if you want to know, drop a note in the comments and maybe I'll make a video to show you what I did, but you should be able to find them. They're already out there. Going at an angle like that, it's still off because I'm not lined up on a row, but growing up, sometimes that's how we did our end rows. You had to cross the field to get it done. Getting you guys a little bit extra content. Oh, I guess if I get my camera out of the dust, it cleans up my frame rate a little bit for you guys. Gets rid of some of that lag. So what I have done is I've sold off the gravity wagon, because what I did is I went into the files for the map and I added maize as a fill type for silage wagons. Now, it's going to be a little bit unrealistic. I'll show you why. As I dump in, let's see if this works. Because you'll see that I currently have, I'm going to have over 500 bushel in here, and it's only half full. So this silage wagon is actually going to hold about the same amount as my hopper bottom trailer I have. But hey, it works. Now I can unload into my silo a lot easier. I'm not going to show you that right now because the 7050 is off mowing grass up there in the distance. So, but we'll come back at the end and show you how everything works. So. Just wanted to show that off in the interim, and we'll be back. Alright, we have made it to November now, and I apologize. I did not come back and record the end of the corn harvest or any of the soybean harvest like I mentioned I was going to do, so that's my fault. I'm sorry, but what I'm doing now is I am picking up the soybean straw and placing it in my silo, and that's the last thing that we have to do to wrap up year 3 harvest here. We still have some hay over there that needs to be baled up, so we're going to do some of that as well, and then we'll be ready for our annual money run in January. See how much money we make and then see how much money we have to spend, so we don't end up paying taxes on our gains, because if you spend it, then your income didn't actually go up, right? So I had some straw left over that was interesting. Over here, jump into 8070. Get backed up. Back in. Flip around and turn this thing on. Pick up some straw. Neighbor's got some lime down on their field here, so just turn around on it, and then I'll actually track some of that in our field too. Let's take this smaller one over here. So yeah, that's what we're doing. December, I don't know if I will film anything in December. All I'm going to do is just in December is probably go plow up the grassland that's in between all those fields over there. Maybe even plow up the old alfalfa field and turn all of that into one field. Because I know that's part of the plan. And then like January is going to be the big month. Show you. Stop for a second. Because this is not counting all that hay that we used to have to bale over there. So wheat is all going to go to the grain mill eventually. Soybeans will get sold in July, looking at possibly $121,000 there. Corn, all that corn's going to stick around. May, we got some wool that's looking good at $73,000. We have 3 liters of milk now worth $4. How about that? Cows are putting in some work. Silage won't sell. Grass, we have $5,300 worth of grass bales. We got $38,000 worth of hay, $61,000 worth of straw, $65,000 worth of bread, $66,000 worth of lettuce, $13,000 worth of tomatoes. So got some, and then we have another $47,000 of alfalfa. So all of that will put to a good use. We're going to use that for some purchases, but you're going to have to wait and see. I have some plans in mind on what I want to do. I'm just trying to strategically figure out balance how I want to do that. So stay tuned for that. Future episodes. But now I'm going to finish picking up this straw. Probably end up with a little bit shorter episode than the last one. There's not really a whole lot going on. Just picking up the straw, taking it over, dumping it into the silage, let it back out. But harvest for year 3 is done. It's time to get ready for winter. And that also means getting the snowplow on the pickup, getting ready for our annual January money run. But as always, thank you for watching the channel, everybody. Don't forget the magic buttons, like, subscribe, and notifications. And we will see you probably in January for the next episode.